This is Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed. Saturday on the Love Boat. The podcast that hunts down and tears apart shenanigans on this classic TV show.
I see an awful lot of bodies who really have nothing to be ashamed of.
When laws, morals, and behaviors go rogue.
She's a student of marine biology, and I know a lot of Marines who like to study her biology.
We are there.
Saturday on the Love Boat, Julie's game to join an all-male club, but she's shocked at the things they ask her to do.
Now, from Studio 109, welcome aboard.
I think it's time you and I got to know each other better.
A man gets very lonely at sea.
Yes, I can imagine.
Yes, loneliness does get the best of this crew, both male and female. We said that last time around on our previous episode. I want to mention something in a second, but first of all, welcome to Crime Cruise Love Boat Exposed. I'm Rob, this is Charlotte, and that is producer Caleb. I'm pointing as if you can see what I'm pointing at. Charlotte, how would you explain this show that we do?
I would explain it as three very different people from very different backgrounds, different generations, watching the show. Some of us for the first time, some of us longtime fans, and some of us that saw it on Nick at Night when there were reruns, like myself, and just examining all the, as Caleb likes to say, shenanigans and tomfoolery that happens on board that would just never be allowed in this day and age.
They clearly wouldn't. We're so many decades beyond 1978, which is where the season 2, episode 11 takes place. I'm sorry, I rolled a little clip there under your vocals.
That's okay.
Just keeping things lively.
Wouldn't be the first time someone tried to shut me up.
Oh, not on this show. This is your forum.
Oh, okay.
And it will always be that. Producer Caleb, thank you for joining us again. I feel very thankful
today. Absolutely.
Like I did last episode. I want to mention something from last episode. Last episode, there were little people, one of them being a famous actor, Billy Barty, who had done over 230 television and film projects through his entire life, which I think started in the 40s. And he had a wife, and they had a full-grown son, and there was a whole plot line. Everyone on the episode referred to these little people, his parents, as little people.
Yeah, and the son even said something.
Yeah,
he said they like to be called little people.
They like to be called little people. Mm-hmm. I mention this because, I mean, we all know that that's the phrase for when there are little people. We also know there's an M word that was used up to not too many years ago, and some still wrongly use it.
Right.
Well, how progressive of the Love Boats.
Exactly.
Back in the late 70s to not use the M word and to use the phrase little people, and to make sure that they corrected others on the cruise that may say the wrong word.
Yeah, they're so progressive in some ways, and then just so backwards in so many, like just like caveman behavior in so many other ways.
Right. 2 steps forward, 130 steps backwards.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. That's how I feel.
Yeah, well, you're correct to feel that way.
Thank you. I'm allowed to have my feelings.
Well, on this show, you're allowed to express your feelings.
Thank you. I love that. Okay.
Producer Caleb, not so much.
No, we can keep it in the corner.
Your hat there.
Silenced every now and then, you know, itchy finger syndrome that you've got, Rob.
Yeah. You're muted sometimes.
I'm never muted. Always loved. So we have the first clip queued up. We just heard a little part of it a second ago, but we're staring down the barrel of the dock.
And we're in season 2, episode
12, actually.
Oh, okay.
It might be 12.
I'm staring at the dock once again. He's like a double-barrel shotgun, and I say that because he's staring directly at the camera.
He is.
Maybe he just made a mistake, and this is the freeze frame we have up, but it's disturbing.
Well, it always is, because it's almost like looking at a serial killer documentary.
Oh my God,
because he looks like he could be one. He has that very like Ted Bundy
Jeffrey
kind of
Dahmer
look.
sunglasses.
Yeah, exactly. He does have the Jeffrey Dahmer glasses.
There's something going on.
Yeah. I'd search his cabin for sure.
You know, we're working on a theory here, too. And a great idea to search his cabin. He's probably got a trap door somewhere in there. We're working on a theory. We've mentioned it on many episodes now, and that is that the captain and Doc are in some kind of blood brothership where they're setting each other up with women. I'll just say it, illicit sex.
Oh, illicit sex.
Something with the Russians seems to be involved, some kind of gunplay. I don't know.
KGB interference.
Right. Maybe even role play.
Who knows? Who knows? All the things.
You don't want to even know, but we're going to crack this case.
We're going to crack it.
And we have producer Caleb on it, so I'm wasting time. Let's look at this.
See your family once a year and your dentist twice. Well, that's enough suffering for anybody.
Why does he have to be so cynical about family?
That's sour grapes. He wishes he had a family of his own.
Yeah. Doc may be laughing on the outside, but inside, sometimes he's a desperately lonely guy.
Amen to that. If that ain't...
I put this clip in because it's like one of the first times we ever actually get a chance to see Doc being humanized.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. Doc should never be humanized.
No, and I never knew anything about him. Like anything about his past, where he came from, like nothing. He's just like an enigma that just sort of showed up on the boat.
We know he was good friends with a stripper who later became a nurse.
Yeah, we know that. He's obviously spent some time in Vegas.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure we know anything more than that, though.
Yeah, no. Well, okay, so now we're supposed to feel bad for Doc. I'm not going to feel bad for him right now. I'm going to wait until, like, tragedy happens to him for sure.
I agree. I think we all
poor Doc.
Oh, no.
Doesn't have a family. I guess it's okay that he sexually harasses and assaults women.
He tries to impregnate everybody. How does he not have a family at this point?
I bet he has a lot of little Docs moving around the world.
Okay, maybe, yeah.
I'm sure he does.
Right, and it's not like he came into this world just like Doc. Like, he obviously has parents. Where's his family? Like, maybe they don't like him because he's a dick.
Right. Doc has made choices to get where he is.
Yeah, he has.
He's a bitter man under it all.
Yep.
That's correct. I do like, beyond justifying Doc, so throw that overboard, I do like the consideration of the rest of the crew. They're thinking and they're
enabling him, Rob. They're enabling him.
Seem to be sympathetic, and I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Damn it.
They're enabling his behavior.
Doc
it's a therapy term for you guys.
He's a quandary for sure.
Well, they've always enabled Doc. Every time it's like, oh, I can't believe, like Julie would be like, I can't believe that Doc is trying to hit on this customer, this passenger. And 9 out of 10 times, the boys are always like, oh, well, that's just Doc.
That's just Doc.
What can I say? Like,
all right, you guys
every time.
won me over with your theories and the way I should feel, I guess.
Yes, you should throw him back
to the captain and the Doc's relationship. Wouldn't it be something, a throwback to a couple of episodes ago, if we found out that the Doc was the captain's son, and the captain had him at age 12 or something like that?
Well, he could have.
Yeah, I know.
I think that would be incredibly disturbing.
Well, why not?
On so many levels.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the game we're playing here. That's the currency we exchange on the Love Boat.
It is the currency we exchange currently.
Oh, Dr. Bricker?
Well, hi.
My name's Amber. Girlfriend met you on a cruise last summer, and she hasn't stopped talking about you.
Oh, I hate patients who kiss and tell.
What time are your office hours?
Office hours? For you? I'll make a cabin call.
Oh, God.
Ever see a real live stethoscope?
Yeah.
You will get probed.
Oh my gosh! See, this is why I didn't give him any leeway. It's because I knew he was going to disappoint me in such a major way.
Yeah, you're right.
Stethoscope is definitely a play on words for his dick or something.
Oh, producer Caleb.
For sure,
I had to say it. Everyone was thinking it.
Everyone is thinking it. Everyone knows it too. You're totally right about that.
And a little insider secret: this scene happened right exactly after the Doc was like, everyone was feeling bad for the Doc for not having a family.
See, this is why we don't feel bad for him.
Second after. And then the rest of the crew were like, that's Doc, just like what I just said.
Just being phallic again with his stethoscope.
God. Well, the hot redhead is what we were looking at is Sissy Cameron. I was wondering if she ever went much further. She did some episodes of The Love Boat, and then there's The Love Boat. Also Love Boat. And Three's Company. She played Melody. I'm sure it was one of Jack Tripper's Conquest, perhaps. I'm going to guess that anyway.
Yes.
And Space Mutiny, The Deli, everything seemed to go downhill. Porky's 2.
Oh, no, the second one. That's even worse.
The next day, she played Sandy Lee. Sandy Lee Toy. Okay. Well,
and Porky's, that was her name, Sandy Lee Toy.
Porky's 2.
Porky's 2, you're right. You're right, Porky's 2. Not even the first one.
Right, we're watching Snyder from
I'm in love.
One Day at a Time. He's whistling
Is that a whistle, or did your brain
whistling at Mrs.
over?
Brady.
You know, I can help you find your cabin.
Excuse me, I realize you're new on this ship, but making leering remarks to the passengers is not your job.
Uh-huh. Well, whose job is it?
Doc's.
Because I'd like to swap.
I apologize. This reeling never happens.
Oh, it's okay. I can handle it.
This really never happens. It happens every fucking day. It happens every second of every moment.
It never happens.
Oh my God, but there's such a class system now on the Love Boat. I'm feeling like it's okay for Doc and Gopher and the captain to hit on people, but if the guy washing the staircase with WD-40, which I didn't know was around for such a long time, but it must have been around forever because the guy was using it.
The guy,
I mean,
the design hasn't changed.
No,
It was like very recognizable.
Very recognizable. But I was just like, so there's just a total double standard. Like if you're in a white uniform, then you can hit on the people and have as much pleasure and playtime as you want. But if you're in a blue jumpsuit, you better watch out.
Don't even think about it.
Right.
Julie will get on your ass. She will yell at you.
Right. And also, who the Miss Brady, why is she boarding the cruise ship with a trophy that's as big as she is? Like, who packs that? Who says I'm going on a cruise, I'm taking my trophy with me?
She probably won a pageant, I bet.
I don't know if we see it in the next scene, but if we don't, then I'll explain what the trophy is.
Okay, good. I have to hear.
Oh, boy. This could be interesting.
I know.
Couple of items. You heard me say that Snyder, the handyman series regular from that Bonnie Franklin sitcom from the 70s and 80s, One Day at a Time. And that was Valerie Bertinelli and Mackenzie Phillips and all. And he's playing a drunk handyman. He's slurring. We get another bad sort of amusing performance of Drunk, which we saw last episode with the doc having the Amazon Russian woman get him drunk. So he's wearing a blue jumpsuit. You mentioned that. I could remember, for some reason, there's been other blue jumpsuits that have been problematic, other staff on the Love Boat. Going back to season 1, early in season 1, Gordon Jump, who was from WKRP in Cincinnati, he was wearing a blue jumpsuit and he was standing in the restroom watching a John Ritter in a wig kind of come in and out and get dressed in that wig. And he was like, I don't like that woman. And then we saw the two guys in jumpsuits bringing...
The painters?
Okay. But then some brought a model of a boat.
Oh, right.
So blue jumpsuits.
Blue jumpsuits,
doofuses, oafs, and drunks.
Yep. That's what it's in the costume department. It just says, bring me the doofus outfit.
Yeah, if you're blue collar, that's your label.
Yeah. You're in a blue jumpsuit. Let's make it really obvious for our watchers. Yes. We'll put everyone else in white suits and everyone else in blue suits.
They do it.
No.
I'm Diane DeMarzo. Oh, Diane, I've been expecting
It's
you.
Mrs.
I'm
Brady
Julie
with the
McCoy,
trophy.
cruise director. Is this the Winthrop Cup? Yeah. Beautiful. It weighs a ton. Oh, I'm sure Captain Steubing will be delighted to take it off your hands. Imagine, Captain of the Year.
Oh, God.
Steubing, I know he wants to meet you. Captain?
Yes.
This is Miss Diane DeMarzo. She represents Sheridan Winthrop.
I'm delighted. I can't wait to get my hands on your cup.
Oh. Well, what? What?
He's definitely talking about the trophy. Yeah.
But but if they didn't want us to all have that reaction, they would have said the word trophy, not the word cup.
My hands on your cup. Yeah. So whose trophy is that?
It's his, I think. Isn't it Steubens for the Captain of the Year?
Why is it not a surprise?
Because he obviously knows he won Captain of the Year.
Mm-hmm. And Miss DiNarzo or something. So Mrs. Brady is Italian.
Miss Brady is Italian all of a sudden, yeah. She must have married well.
I'm going to guess we have the drunkard, no good, blue collar handyman who's already eyeing Mrs. Brady.
I bet there's a little romance that happens between them.
Or maybe he steals the cup. Because why else would they make the cup so predominant? And I hear that, producer Caleb, I'm going to shut up. Yes.
No, I just love hearing you guys
we should write
theorize
for the show.
What happens.
Yeah, we should write for the show. I think they're going to fall in love.
You know, producer Caleb is a lot of things.
He is.
A lot of things. And one of them is Puppet Master.
Oh, yeah.
He watches us in our little cage and pulls the strings like we're ghastly marionettes.
I do want to loop back to what you said about writing this show.
Yeah.
We have way too much brain power to write this show. A monkey could write this show.
A monkey could have written the one with the monkey.
A Word doc, and they just tap away, and that'd be like a perfect Class A Love Boat episode right there.
I agree, 100.
Well, the setup has been laid out. I have a feeling strange things are going to happen, and we'll find out right after this.
We'll be right back with more Love Boat Exposed. Go to loveboatexposed.com to send us a message, leave a voicemail, or learn more about the show and our team. Who knows? You might just be invited to the captain's table.
It's a pleasure to welcome you aboard. I'm speaking for my entire crew.
I bet all of us could be at the captain's table. If
Yeah, for sure.
if we were the time cops that we talked about a couple episodes back, kind of going through that tunnel in time, I could see us all sitting there and just loving being at the captain's table.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
The doc would be after you.
Stop.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay, well, thanks, guys, but I would definitely knee him in the
There's
nuts.
no thanks needed.
Oh no, I would just honestly love to see that interaction. If like the doc just approached you, Charlotte,
versus the doc.
That would just be the best.
That'd be a good death match. Charlotte versus the doc to death.
It might even rival when the doc got punched in the face.
Yeah.
From that one episode. All right, enough fantasy sequences. Here we go.
Hello, Danny Holt. Mr. Holt.
Danny Holt.
Oh, that's Promenade Deck 340. It's a super cabin.
I hope so. I've been saving up for it since D-Day.
World War II?
No, D as in divorce.
Sorry.
Listen to him. I make the alimony payments and you're sorry. I'm not bitter. Broke, but not bitter.
Well, don't let it get you down, Mr. Holt. Lots of single women on these cruises to take your mind off all the troubles.
How about a single man? To marry my ex-wife.
I'm single.
No, thanks, pal. You're much too young to die.
All right.
So they almost went there.
Oh, they started.
They almost. I thought they did.
And I know that Rob had said that they were going to at some point on the show start. So I didn't know if this was
Rob has been teasing that.
Yeah, so I did not know if this was the actual moment. I'm a little disappointed it wasn't because I have lots of gay friends who would totally pounce on him because he was good looking. But they're building the viewers, I think, to sort of like, if you want to use an overword, they're grooming us to be okay with whatever's happening.
They're easing us in.
On whatever happens on the Love Boat, we're just going to accept it.
So that dude, the one we just heard, he died in 1991.
He looked like JFK Jr. to me is what he looked like.
And he had the hair of Eugene Levy.
Yeah.
He's Bert Convy.
Okay.
I knew his name. I looked it up anyway to just see what I know him from. The Cannonball Run.
Oh, I love Cannonball Run.
It's Gary
That's one of the
Shandling's
best shows ever.
Hotel, Murder, She Wrote.
Okay.
He was more than that, more than an actor on these series and sometimes films. He was on like every game show. He was like a regular on every game show, Match Game and
Pyramid
Hollywood
and all that
Squares
stuff.
and Pyramid. That was probably how he made his living. And not a bad looking dude, but a white dude with an afro.
Yeah.
Always an anomaly.
And I love how Gopher's like, oh, I'll help you. I'll be your pimp. I'll get bitches for you. There's lots of single women on here to take your mind off things.
Nothing stopping Gopher.
No, nothing stopping Gopher. I mean, he even offered to marry the man's ex-wife. Like, I feel he's desperate, this little guy.
I don't get it.
Yeah, poor Gopher.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Have you ever wondered why so many sitcom characters deliver babies inside elevators?
Or how on TV a second blow to the head can reverse amnesia?
Welcome to the Sitcom Study, the podcast where we break down 4 sitcom episodes that share a common trope or cliche. So if you want to critically examine how Carlton lost his virginity,
Or discover how sitcom kids mysteriously age several years between seasons,
or dissect the sibling bond between Blossom and her brother, Jonathan Taylor Thomas,
look up the Sitcom Study on any podcast app. Wasn't Joey Lawrence Blossom's brother?
That was a test, and you passed.
More girls in bikinis, low shots, bottom shots. There's this handyman again, and he's staring at an ass that just walked by.
I think producer Caleb put that clip in there, and he can tell me if I'm correct or not. We didn't see one girl's face. It was a total screen cover with him sitting down and all the girls walked by him perfectly just so that the camera saw from the neck down to the ass.
Just like the ass in the last episode.
Yeah.
Well, I've been a little secret for you guys. This whole season 2, there have been multiple shots of just ass shots or like boob shots.
Oh, wow.
In like bikinis. And there's never been audio, so just like this clip we just saw. But the only reason I kept this clip in is because the blue jumpsuit guy who was hitting on Mrs. Brady was once again just staring at them all.
Oh, yeah, 100.
Just eyes locked in on all of them. And our listeners here, they couldn't see it, but just promise us that there was like a bunch of women in bikinis and this man in the blue jumpsuit was just
oogling away.
In.
Yeah.
Well, this whole show is like a petri dish.
It is.
Do I say that right? A petri dish.
It is. You're correct.
Okay. And if you do a little bit of research, as God knows we have here in our studios, you'll read that the Love Boat was an anomaly in that all the other television shows moved towards dramas, sitcoms with 3 cameras, like Three's Company and such. And the throwback that held tight onto the 70s, as the 70s was actually exiting, was the Love Boat. And the disconnected laugh track, the TNA, which is what we're seeing a whole lot of. As producer Caleb says, he's not always sharing all these clips, but in this case, it makes sense because I think we're building up to try to understand why the handyman is a sleaze. But we're just seeing a lot of butts and a lot of breasts and...
No heads.
No heads. It's disconnected.
How all my Barbies looked.
And I don't doubt that then they only need to be paid on a lesser tier as some form of extra.
And how can you claim like a royalty check? How can you prove that's your body?
Right. And onward, I say.
Onward.
Oh, you still alone? Yeah, I guess it's too hard to choose, huh?
Man with the afro.
No, it's not that. You see, when you've just broken the chains of matrimony, the last thing you want to think about is shackling up again.
Well, you know what they say. When you have a bad fall, the only thing to do is to get right back up on that horse again.
Look at the legs on that filly.
Oh, no. It's her.
Oh, gosh. Of course.
Vampire.
Your ex-wife?
Worse, her divorce lawyer. That's the one that cleaned me out.
What am I looking at?
That gorgeous girl?
That gorgeous girl.
Oh, of course it happens. Of course, they're on the same cruise together. And I bet she's there spending all the money she made from that case.
Yeah, I wonder who that was. A very distinct looking woman.
Yeah, she was. She was very pretty.
Producer Caleb, was that? I see Suzanne Plachette is in this episode. I wonder if that was her. And that's from the Bob Newhart show, The Wife. I'll cut this out if it's not her, but I wonder if that's her. Huh.
Well, my whole thing was just Isaac's just like, oh, don't worry, guy, just get back up there. Da, 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 da. And, there's always that common phrase, to get over someone, you got to get under someone else. But I don't know. I don't know what his purpose is on the boat if he's there to celebrate his divorce, but he's not trying to hit on anybody.
And what a bit of shitty writing here. I mean, it's all shitty writing, but this one is the same repetitive lines.
Yes.
The guy has said this every time he's on camera. Well, I'm divorced.
It's like, we got it, dude. You're divorced.
Yeah. This just isn't going to stop.
I have a feeling he and the divorce attorney are going to knock boots.
I put this clip in because the Gopher was like, damn, look at her legs. He was sexually harassing this woman who he's never seen before. And then they're like, that beautiful lady is a divorce lawyer. They're like undermining her. Like, someone that hot can be someone so rich. Like,
and she has a brain. She actually went to law school.
She's smart. Like, shut up, guys, please. That's gross.
I agree. Thank you, Caleb, for pointing that out.
Guys, I'm just going to say it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to lay it on the line. I think I'm going to introduce the horny meter.
Oh, okay.
No.
And I'm going to point that gauge to Gopher in this episode. And Charlotte, I'm going to ask you, where is Gopher on the horny meter?
Well, considering he's been at sea for 2 seasons, I'm going to go at a 10.
Yeah, but it's very overt.
I haven't seen him hook up once.
It's very overt in this episode. It's come to a head.
Yes, it has.
He's just
to a head. Are you being funny?
Yes.
Man,
I suck, man.
Another one. You suck.
Oh, damn you two. You cornered me. It's both you puppet masters are in cahoots. Yeah, well, all right. So there we go. Ah, shucks.
Oh, I don't know about that one. I don't think you can shuck a penis.
I'm sure you can.
There's probably a
I'm a
OnlyFans for
press
that.
agent. And it was my job to get Sheridan Winthrop on board to present
This is
this
Brady,
cup
the
to
press
Captain
agent.
Steubing tomorrow night. But he didn't show up.
Why is she sitting with the handyman?
Who is this Sheridan Winthrop?
Why is
a
he drunk?
philanthropist, a millionaire, a playboy.
A fink.
I could lose my job. Will you help me?
Yeah, sure. I'll help.
All you gotta do is impersonate Winthrop tomorrow night.
What are you kidding? Me make like a millionaire?
You can do it.
Oh, so she's roping him into her little scheme.
Yeah. Maybe he's not drunk. Maybe he's just choosing to speak with an affect.
I think that's just how he speaks. I don't know if he's drunk or not.
It sucks. His whole thing is slurry and just so stupid.
It's a little difficult to understand. So she's going to use him to pretend like he is a millionaire because no one knows who he is.
Yeah.
So did she just pull him into her cabin?
That's the question, the elephant in the room. Why was he in her cabin?
Yeah, she just invited him in. Then she was like, "Hey, can you commit fraud real quick and be like this really rich guy and give this trophy to Captain Steubing?"
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "Oh, absolutely, yeah, as long as I get some action, you know." And like,
Is
she's
is no one gonna know that their handyman is up there pretending to be a millionaire? I mean, isn't he an employee on this boat giving out a trophy to another employee? I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Good question too.
No, you're spot on, but apparently just no one knows who the hell he is.
So he's like the third class on the Titanic. He's like the Irish people. No one knew. No one knows who they
Steerage,
are. Okay.
yes.
Okay, got it.
And we're looking at a frame where he's dressed, that same gentleman, in a tuxedo,
Yes,
talking
he
to
is.
Mrs. Brady.
He looks very dapper.
He's getting close to her. Let's see where it goes.
Well, tomorrow we get back to L.A., and I thought maybe you might like to tie the knot.
What?
Tie the knot. Get hitched.
What?
Married.
Married?
She's moving away from him.
Figured you'd like that, you know. I'm nuts about you. Two people are nuts about each other. They get married, don't they?
Well, yes, Hank. When two people love each other.
Oh.
I think you're a terrific guy, Hank.
I get the picture. All that romantic stuff was just to keep me happy. So I do the Winthrop act for you?
Well, listen, Hank, this is very important to me.
Right. Job's important to you, and I'm not.
I didn't say that.
Sure you did.
Wow, Hank is a simpleton.
He's known her for like 2 days, you guys. I just can't handle all this like drama over relationships and hearts breaking with people only having known each other for a few days on a fucking boat.
But she didn't have any chemistry. He like threw a temper tantrum because he was like, well, if I do all this stuff, then I get to sleep with you, right? I'm going to marry you. And she's like, no, since when?
Yeah, right.
What the hell
Where
are you
was
on
that
about?
contract? I didn't see anybody sign anything.
Mrs. Brady handled that really well. I liked her acting there because it went from, friendly, we're compadres, to I'm looking at this man as he's saying these words.
And realizing he's crazy.
My eyes are telling the audience that, oh boy, this guy can just go off. He could be dangerous. I'm going to have to let him down lightly.
Yeah.
And she handled it well because she's Mrs. Brady.
Because she's Mrs. Brady. How you wouldn't expect her to do anything bad.
No, I mean, she had to fend off Greg, from what I understand. Her own damn stepson.
I know. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think they did sleep together, though.
Maybe.
I think it was a rumor. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it was
I'm not trying to start one. I'm just saying it's profound.
Have you ever had to let someone down like that, Charlotte?
Yes.
Like where a guy you just met like 10 minutes ago, and he's just like, oh God, this is great. We're going to date.
No, but I mean, I've been on dates where it's just obvious that it's not like I'm about to go to the bathroom and not come back. But you know what I'm saying? And then it's just like at the end, and they're just like, oh, I can't wait to go out with you. Or then they start texting and like wanting to explain why they acted a certain way on a date. And I'm like, dude, no. Like, what if you're calling me to explain why you acted a certain way? Like, no, we're not doing this.
All right. Producer Caleb, has it happened to you?
I'm sure it has, but
if he's sure,
coming to mind.
So many times he can't remember.
So numerous.
Goodness. Okay,
Here
kids.
we go.
Dr. Barnes?
Yes.
Okay, good. Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, God.
Doc is
David,
operating.
Adam Bricker. What's the problem, Adam? You don't need my little black book again, do you?
Oh,
I need your help, David.
Looks like a big
A
drum.
woman in her early 70s, in good general health, has fallen down a flight of stairs. Preliminary examination indicates that a fractured rib has punctured the spleen. Adam, have you got a signed consent form? Signed consent form? David, she's passed out, and I'm not going to put any more pressure on her husband. How much time do I have? 2 hours at the most. That spleen has got to come out. Is there another doctor aboard to assist? No, just myself and a nurse.
Wow.
Okay, let's go. Talk to me. Stay with me, David. Sketch out the procedure, then guide me through it step by step.
Doc know this? What the
I don't know.
hell
I guess he might not be a surgeon. I'd like to just give him that. Maybe he's just like a general doctor.
But veterinarians know how to make
He assisted a birth.
You're
one
right,
episode.
he did. And but they've been doing that for fucking centuries, Caleb. I mean, crap. 4-year-olds have been helping their mom give birth since the Stone Age. But my whole thing is, first of all, he's on a old school like teleprompter or whatever. What are those
It's
things
like the
called?
little speakerphone from Charlie's Angels.
It is exactly like the speakerphone from Charlie's Angels.
Which it looked like the exact speakerphone
It
from
did.
Charlie's
I was
Angels.
about to say that.
A la Aaron Spelling, but sure. Yeah.
But I'm just curious, like, what? It looks like it's the woman that was hitting on him, correct? That's fallen. Is that her?
No.
Oh,
no.
It's
Okay.
just like some
random,
like random lady. Like they were having dinner at the table. The captain was waiting for the award to come and arrive, and then this man comes up and goes, Doc, my wife, she's fallen down the stairs. She's not waking up. Please, we need help. And so they all like run over, and he's like, I think she has a broken rib and it might have punctured her. She might have internal bleeding. We need to do surgery now. And like, it came out of nowhere. Nothing was building up
dramatic.
to it. It just came out of nowhere, and now
Grey's Anatomy.
Another shock moment. It reminds me a little bit of that shock when that dude pulled a gun on the Christmas episode last season.
Well, it's also shocking because Doc's doing his job.
And then the guy,
right?
This old, grizzled surgeon looks like he just had 4 drinks when he gets on the phone with
Yeah,
Doc.
I think he even has drink spillage on the front of his scrubs or something.
Permanently drunk, kind of older dude is what it looked like. And he's like, well, Doc, first off, is there a real doctor on the boat?
Yeah, exactly.
And the doc just lets that one skim right off him. And he's like, no, it's just me.
Yeah.
Just me and my nurse from Vegas when like that previous
and I could sort
stripper.
of hear the terror in that old man's voice. I wouldn't feel very confident.
No. Oh, let's see what happens in this episode.
All right, now, as soon as you remove the spleen, put a double tie on the pedicle and...
Oh, the phone's breaking up.
Hello? Adam?
Repeat that last.
Double tie on the finicle.
David?
Finicle.
What's going on?
Double tie.
We've got some interference. It's been bad all week.
Of course it has.
Rob knows.
Double tie the finicle. We all know that. I mean, it's like 9th grade economics.
Economics?
Jesus Christ, Rob knows everything. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's economics.
Oh yeah, because Charlotte, you remember when you were in the 9th grade and we all had to like do surgery on a frog to remove its spleen. Like we've all done that before.
I'm going to tell you the truth though. I was that girl.
What
that refused to operate, that refused to do the dissection because I was that girl then. So I did it on a computer, Caleb. So I've actually
It's also
never
disgusting.
taken out the spleen. But I'm sure, like in a state of panic, I could figure that shit out.
Did you ever have to help someone give birth?
No, that's disgusting. I don't even want to watch videos of people when they're like, "Watch my live birth." I'm like, "Why the f- are you filming it? Why do you have a camera crew
That's a very good
in
point.
with you?"
Question.
And don't let your husband down there. He'll never go down there again. Like, just keep the cameras away.
Well said.
Yes.
You speak common sense.
I do. I really think I do.
In an age of nonsense, we have Charlotte.
No, thank God for me.
She keeps us steady.
Yeah,
she keeps us
True,
down to earth.
No joke. All right, it looks like there's one more clip.
Okay.
Let's see where it is. Where it goes.
So, Gopher, are you off to beautiful downtown Burbank?
There's
Sacramento.
the hottie woman with the push-up bra.
Wait till you meet my folks.
Meet your folks?
You know, Daddy always said I'd marry a man in uniform.
Amber. Gosh, you know, there's something I forgot to tell you. There's a rule. It's a company rule. We're not allowed to get married.
Oh.
How sleazy.
Yeah.
So did he sleep with her already?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, of course he did.
I don't really know where she came from. This episode was all over the plot. Like the random people surgery just came out of nowhere. This woman came out of nowhere.
That woman, though, I want you guys to see if you agree with me, Caleb and Rob. Does she not remind you of, and is she not the same woman that played the ditzy blonde girlfriend of all the jewelry thief people?
Oh, gosh, yeah. Yeah. And,
isn't she the same person?
She has numerous credits, I think, for The Love Boat.
Because I remember her voice and I remember her profile. I think
Yeah.
it's the same girl that played, what was her name, like Sandy or something like that, but she played the jewelry
She was
thieves.
the distract Gopher and
she was
give him a
bubble bath and all that
a massage on the deck.
Yes.
It sure seems if she's not the same woman, she's from the
surely-
same mold, and that
yes.
mold is pointy.
Yes, it is
And
pointy.
The mold is kind of classic 70s retro
tennis mom.
hottie.
She looks like a tennis mom.
Kind of does.
Yeah.
And this caught my eye when she was talking to Gopher about getting married. She was running her fingers over the rim of his hat, like just stroking it. And let's go to the sleaze gauge now.
Yeah, okay.
Because we did the horny gauge, and it's all on Gopher this episode.
Well, the sleaze is now at 1 because he got his horniness fixed. So he's no longer a 10 on the horny scale.
Well, no longer a 10, down to 0 on
He's
horny.
down to 0.
At least for 2 hours.
But for sleaze, he's up to like 10.
Up to 10 because he just
Wham,
did this
bam,
woman,
thank you, ma'am.
And he's like, hey, sorry, guess what? We're done.
Yeah.
So goodbye.
Yeah.
And there's Julie in the mix, amused by it all.
Of course
you
she
said
is.
this one of our past episodes ago. She's like a Giselle to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
Julie's becoming a confused person.
She is.
She went insane early on in the season, and now she's kind of locking to a track of, I'm just one of them now. I'm a Stepford sleaze. I will help everyone get laid.
Yeah, she is. She's like the wing woman.
Yeah.
The sleazy wing woman.
That's a lot to digest for
Yes,
this
it
episode.
is.
And
But it was a
that's
good
the
one.
end.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, lively. Once
Yeah.
again, producer Caleb, anything we should know? I think we concluded these storylines, right?
Yeah. The people who got operated on, the woman, she lives.
Oh, good.
So
One for
doesn't
Doc.
end. I was kind of scared that it was going to end in the first love boat death. Because there was a scene where like the doc kept losing connection to the actual surgeon who knows what the hell he's doing.
Right.
Even while he's drunk, mind you, like he still knows how to take out a freaking spleen or whatever. But the doc very sadly and very dramatically, we no longer need him. It's all okay now. And then like the scene ends, and then everyone's like waiting around, waiting for the doc to get out of the like medical room. And he goes, she'll be okay. Like after that very long
very
pause.
dramatic.
And everyone's like, oh.
It's like one of
that's
those
amazing.
soap opera pauses. Like the,
Oh, yeah.
he'll be okay.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah, and so I was getting ready to like get this clipping. So I'm like, this is gonna be the first love boat death. This is crazy.
Yeah, we
this
haven't
is
had
like
one
gonna
of
be
those
so
yet.
good.
We have.
But not yet. We still waiting for the first death.
No, I think we have. Because
Have we had a death?
on that recap of season 1 episode, if you listen to the very end, I wouldn't be surprised if y'all didn't, because we live this. Do we have to listen to it? There was a script, there was a storyline last year where a woman left a note because she was dying.
No, the dad left a note because he was dying and the daughter got
Dad
it.
left a note and he died. And the captain...
You're right. Okay.
And it's
Dang,
pretty
we have had a
dramatic.
first death.
And it's pretty good for the captain. So good that I kind of made it a little like Easter egg at the very like last 1 minute of best of season 1. You'll hear the captain doing a read that is my dearest daughter. And he just does his whole thing. It's very good. It's like a little monologue.
I love that.
You're totally right.
Good acting from the cast always makes me happy since we see it so rarely.
I know. Mrs. Brady did some good acting.
Yeah.
In this. Gopher off the charts here. Horny chart and sleaze chart.
Yep.
While the doc was saving a life, Gopher took over, was possessed really by the doc.
Maybe we're thinking too small in this like conspiracy theory. Maybe the whole crew are on board.
Whole
like
crew.
Like everyone in white, everyone who wears white is
Yep.
involved in this sex ring
Oh,
operation.
they could be. Yeah, wow.
trafficking.
This is a whole new series, you guys.
And when you were doing the recap of the doc and that whole operation and the outcome, I was hearing that how to save a life thing from like Grey's Anatomy. I was just, and I would put that in the background in editing later, producer Caleb, but I know I will get struck by YouTube because our podcasts are now on YouTube and the audio only and the little cover we do every week. But we will at some point drop a live video of us doing this show.
Yeah.
If people want it, I don't know. I mean, I'm
Maybe.
content just
That would
sitting
be
in front
fun.
of a microphone.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, well, I know the thoughts here in the studio. Maybe it's not the thing to do.
We'll see.
Well,
We'll take
maybe.
a vote.
We'll
be
see.
democratic about this shit.
I love the idea, honestly.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
I'm saying
Oh,
it.
you know what? I mean, it's sort of like then we're giving the other half of our soul.
Yes, yes.
And it's like maybe we better
Just gonna sell all of it.
Speaking of, maybe we do a Patreon where we do a bonus episode every now and then.
Yeah, we can do that.
And then we do a video episode so people could kind of see the clips and could
Yeah.
see us.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, producer Caleb, you see him, ladies, you'll be like, wow.
Was
Shit. What the hell? I just thought it was his
The
voice.
Helmsworth brothers can go back to Australia.
Producer,
We're keeping Caleb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You'll understand why here in the studio we call him Thunder Down Under.
Oh, wow.
And on that note, Thunder, producer Caleb, what are you going to tell the folks out there in the audience, their friends, their families? What do you say?
Yeah, well, if you guys enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you like it, subscribe it, share with a friend, and we'll see you all on the Love Boat next week.
We're sailing away, but we will be back with a new episode of Crime Cruise, Love Boat Exposed. Make sure to subscribe. We're on all your favorite podcast platforms. And connect with us at loveboatexposed.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, but I have duties on the bridge. Good evening.